They're using lots that fucking don't look like the fucking moron. Oh. Fuck you. Man, do anything else? Fucking see her eyes. It's fucking crazy. That David's fucking creepy as fuck. He's a creepy fucking guy. Creepiest fucking weirdo. Bunch of gay guys at this fucking grocery store back then. My fucking newbie fucking moron. Fucking someone else go fuck yourself.
Developing as we speak. You can see the outer band, the air starting to saturate a little bit, so some light rain, a little wintry mix now starting to pick up. So don't be alarmed here over the next few hours if you start to see even just a little bit of mist or some flurry action. But for the most part, nothing substantial out there this evening. Our temperatures are right close to that freezing mark, but feel like about 20. So the rest of this evening, I do expect lower 30s. We'll stay right on the edge of that freezing mark, which means, again, a wintry mix. Multiple precipitation types are possible, especially as we get closer to midnight. We'll take a closer look hour by hour on tomorrow's snowfall, when that moves out, and when that frigid air moves in. That's coming up in your first 1-5 forecast. Brett.
Snowplow crews across the area are getting ready for another round of winter weather. The first 1-5 weather team isn't calling for as much snow as earlier this week, but MoDOT crews say this storm will have its own unique challenges because of those falling temperatures.
The last event was big, but we were able to get out there and treat it, and it was manageable if you drove slow. I don't feel like people are going to be able to drive very comfortably on the icy conditions. There'll be going to be more slide-offs. We had not as many slide-offs this last time with the slushiness.
So those very low temperatures and the possibility of some freezing rain will also make those pre-treating chemicals just less effective. KCTV5's Nisha Hood will have more warnings from road crews coming up live at 5.
And new at 4, more efforts are being made to fight human trafficking around Kansas City. Tactics by local activists are now getting the attention of the Missouri Attorney General's office. Alex Love attended one event to raise awareness and shows how this crime is a bigger problem around Kansas City than many realize.
Activists against human trafficking have labeled Independence Avenue a hotspot for it, but now they're working to get every victim their freedom back by expanding resources at the Recovery and Outreach Center. The facility off Independence Avenue is managed by Michelle Newton of Relentless Pursuit Outreach and Recovery, who sees victims of all ages come through their door.
We've had some teenagers, but early 20s, and then we've had ladies that are still in trafficking situations that are approaching 70 years old. This thing does not discriminate.
Because of geographics, those who fight human trafficking have seen Kansas City become a popular area for traffickers.
It's a lot easier to traffic a girl out of Kansas City to New York or, I don't know, anywhere else in the country, honestly, because it's going to be cheaper. Jump on a plane. We've got an international airport. The interstates that run through.
Michelle Newton is also a survivor of human trafficking herself. Through experience, she uses supportive and gentle tactics to convince women to seek help. She urges everyone to do the same to save Kansas City from more traffickers.
If you would let them know that you care and that you want to help without telling them what to do, that you want to help, ask them what would they like to do.
When any victim of human trafficking shows up at Relentless Pursuit Outreach and Recovery, they get fed, showered, and receive counseling. The Maddie Rhodes Cultural Center has also stepped in to teach them how to find jobs and skills for a better life.
The workforce development, helping to give them the skills and training that they need to access good paying jobs.
And if you or someone you know trying to escape human trafficking would like to seek shelter at the Relentless Pursuit Recovery Outreach Center, they always have security on staff, plus locked doors for your protection. Reporting in Kansas City, Alex Love, KCTV 5 News.
With Oppenheimer winning big as the award season starts, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is renewing his push to renew the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, or RECA. The Missouri Republican taking to X to post this, urging his colleagues to reauthorize the program by sharing the stories of some of the people impacted by radiation. RECA originally passed back in 1990, giving partial restitution to people who developed sickness after being exposed to radiation released during the government's nuclear tests or working in the uranium industry. But now, after more than 30 years, that funding is set to expire in July.
The very least the government can do is compensate the people of our state and every state who have been exposed by the government to nuclear radiation. I think it is absolutely vital we get that compensation passed. It is my #1 legislative priority. And I can tell you, the program that provides some level of compensation for nuclear victims, it is expiring in just a few months. If we don't renew it, nobody's going to get anything.
Well, the city of Raymore is issuing a new call to action to keep Kansas City's trash away from their city. There is now a page on the city's website which tracks every bill in the Missouri legislature surrounding a potential landfill in Kansas City. You can see here that landfill would go on the border of Kansas City and Raymore. The city even has a way for you to get text updates so you can get the latest on the new bills.
Kansas's Chief Justice blames Russia for the cyber attack that knocked out its court system for months. Chief Justice Marla Luckert says a ransomware group got into its computer systems, then stole people's data from the state. The state is still working to bring all the services back online and notify people whose data may have been taken.
With temperatures plunging, we could soon see heating costs rising. Still ahead of 4, we talk with Kansas energy companies about keeping your bills low for the next few days.
And the final inflation report of 2023 is in. We'll break down the numbers and see what it means for this new year. That's coming up.
Brad Stevens and Carolyn Long, weeknights on KCTV5.
The thing I love most about the team is we're actually a family.
I have people around me you can trust. I'm lucky.
They are a light in the darkness. The only thing we can rely on is each other.
NCIS, you remember us?
Yeah! We fight all that darkness out there with joy. That's how we win.
Let's go!
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 0% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or up to $1,500 bonus cash. Reserve your Hyundai today. See your Kansas City Hyundai dealer.
I hurt my shoulder in a car wreck, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check. After a car wreck, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. I called Mike and his team, and they got me $125,000. Call me. I've got this.
Varicose veins and spider veins are not just a cosmetic problem. It could be a sign of a more serious illness. Our treatments are covered by most insurance plans, including Medicare. Do not delay your visit to USA Vein Clinics.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I'm so looking forward to this. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Kansas City isn't just mountains and barbecue. It's people working hard to provide for their families. So when an accident threatens their future, we fight to get the justice they deserve. Brown Recruitment with justice for all. Let's go. It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 0% APR on the Hyundai Santa Fe or up to $2,000 bonus cash. Reserve your Hyundai today. See your Kansas City Hyundai dealer.
Positive economic news out today. The rate of inflation improved significantly over the course of 2023. That's according to new data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. But that doesn't necessarily mean that things you buy are getting cheaper.
Yeah, and those continued high prices could mean we're also in for continued high interest rates. Ivan Rodriguez breaks it all down for us.
The prices of U.S. consumer goods and services continue to rise in 2023, capping a year of progress towards reining in decades high inflation.
Inflation increased a little bit faster than expected during the month of December, but we're still seeing progress, moving in the right direction, albeit slowly.
Federal data released Thursday shows a 3.4% increase in prices last year, down by nearly half from December 2022, when the inflation rate was at 6.5%.
2023 was a year where we saw inflation, the rate of inflation come down dramatically. Now, that doesn't mean prices are coming down, just means they're not going up as fast. But the important point is that we're now back to a situation where income is growing faster than inflation.
The economic picture for consumers is improving. The cost of food and energy have come down significantly from 2022. But many households are still struggling, especially as the cost of shelter, medical care, and motor vehicle insurance continue to rise.
They're still feeling the effects of high prices and maybe income that hasn't necessarily kept up with that or has barely kept up, and so they haven't seen an increase in buying power.
Despite meaningful progress on inflation, Bankrate.com's Greg McBride predicts the December numbers will likely put a damper on investors' hopes of interest rate cuts by early spring.
The Fed is likely to cut rates this year, but it's probably not going to happen until the middle or back half of the year, and that too is just contingent upon us continuing to see further improvement.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
KCTV5 viewers, meet Woody. How cute is he? Still headed for why this four-legged counselor will be making new friends soon at a Missouri university.
And will this cold weather force your heating bills up? In less than 5 minutes, we're going to talk with energy companies about managing your heat this winter. Warren?
Yeah, not just cold, dangerous cold for many days ahead. We'll talk through just how low those temperatures drop and who has the best chance to see snow into Friday morning. That's all coming up in your first Warm 5 forecast.
A local teacher caught in the middle of a social media rumor.
My name's been tainted. I don't know if I can get it back.
KCTV5's Zach Summers sits down with a local teacher working to clear his name. Tonight at 10, right now on the KCTV News app.
Have you been injured in an auto or truck accident? Chuck Chanuma is here to help. With years of experience and a proven record of success, Chuck will help you get the compensation you deserve. Call Chuck now at 816-421-5544.
Call me now.
Last year, other dealers were charging up to $10,000 over MSRP. I'm Jeff Davis, owner of Volkswagen Lease Summit. If your car is worth a lot less than you bought it for, maybe it's time to exchange it.
Is your car payment too much? Exchange it. Is your interest rate too high? Exchange it. Want a lower price? You guessed it. Exchange your vehicle at Volkswagen Lease Summit today. We're offering rates as low as 2.99% APR, low leases, and thousands off MSRP.
Get started at VWLeeSummit.com.
Shop the hottest deals on mattresses now at NFM. Get a Sealy King mattress for the price of a queen, or a queen for the price of a twin. Like our Sealy Queen mattress for the twin price of just $849. And our Sealy King mattress for the queen price of only $899. Don't miss out on express next day delivery. And budget-friendly 50-month financing is available on qualifying purchases. With our huge in-stock selection, there's something for everyone. Only at NFM.
If you've been injured and think you can't afford a lawyer, think again. There's no upfront cost to hire me and my team, and absolutely no fee until we win your case.
It didn't cost me one single penny upfront to hire Mike's team after my car wreck.
It was free for Mike and his team to get started on my case. And in the end, they got me a $375,000 settlement. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better. Join the judgment-free zone now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Plus, work out anytime with most clubs open 24 hours. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Injured and seeking compensation? Trust Chuck Chinuma to help you get the compensation you deserve. Meet Chuck at his local office to discuss your case. Call today at 816-421-5544.
Call me now.
With temperatures about to plummet, we could soon see our heating bills go up.
Yeah, reporter Rob Wilson talks with Kansas energy companies about what you can do to make sure those costs are kept under control.
Black Hills Energy has a reminder. They're not trying to make extra money with their gas rates.
We don't profit off the price of natural gas. It's a pass-through cost.
Black Hills spokesman James Williams says even though natural gas is cheaper than it was last year, that doesn't mean your bill will be lower this winter.
Even at today's prices, which are normal, that can be an impact to some people.
So there are some programs they offer to help.
Some of those tools are budget billing, where you can create a level payment throughout the year. We also have energy utility assistance.
One of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to keep your heating bill down this winter is to turn down your thermostat just a few degrees to 68. Some people in Wichita are already following that advice. About what temperature do you keep your house at?
Around 65 or 70.
We got it down to 68.
About 68 to 70.
Others use different methods to stay warm.
Don't run around naked or anything like that and put lots of clothes on.
I light a fire. I have my fireplace going all the time.
Black Hills Energy says it's important to be mindful about your energy consumption.
It's just about being a little bit smarter and paying attention to your usage, and that'll certainly help.
Well, for many in the rural parts of Missouri and Kansas, wood-burning stoves and pellet stoves are a great heat source when it comes to heating your home. However, with wood and pellet stoves, you have the risk of a fire because of the heating source. One rural Missouri fire department tells us to not hesitate to contact first responders if you think your stove is creating a fire hazard.
Actually, this year we've had at least 2 incidents where people has known that there's smoke in their house and they've had trouble with smoke in their house. But if it persists, and you've had problems, call 911. And even if you've not had a problem, anytime you smell smoke or see smoke, call 911. Get us started. If you figure it out, you can always call back and cancel.
And now is a great time to go ahead and check your smoke alarm and carbon monoxide batteries in your detectors, even if you have not changed them yet. Well, all week, our First Warn weather team has been focused about dangerous cold hitting tonight.
Yeah, they sure are. It's coming. We know it's going to be here sooner than we want it to be. So let's get right over to First Warn 5 meteorologist Warren Sears for a look at those plummeting temperatures, Warren.
Absolutely. This is considered warm right now, what we're seeing compared to what we have here through the next few days. You'll notice into the overnight, our temperatures actually stay up a little bit, and that means that anything that falls here in the city is probably going to be more of a rain-snow mix with colder air to the north and higher snowfall totals to the north with this next system that comes through. On the back edge of this storm, frigid temperatures will funnel in by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning, and they will stay in place not just Friday and Saturday, but likely many days into early next week. Dangerous cold. We're talking sub-zero wind chills even all day Saturday and Sunday. And obviously, you know, we have a lot going on with the Chiefs game and everything like that. You will want to limit your skin exposure. These are serious temperatures that we are going to be talking about. Also, I will say, gas up your car today while it's still manageable out there, and put air in your tires today, because we will see you won't want to be outside the next few days is what I'm getting to there. So definitely getting really cold, and we also have that opportunity for more wintry weather into tonight and early morning out there tomorrow. Those of you far to the north near the Iowa state line, you have a winter storm warning in place, a blizzard warning on just the north side of the state line through all of Iowa. Now, I expect that to be the higher totals, more travel impacts the farther north you go. We are under a winter weather advisory in the city. Still want to take it seriously. I do think we could have a little wintry mix, a quick burst of snow in the morning, and some minor travel impacts here. And that's already starting to unfold. The outskirts, just the initial band is starting to set up to the north of some light snow showers, really not amounting to much at all. And then a little bit of mist here in the city right now. This is the storm. It's not going to be near as significant as this last one, especially for us, but it is now starting to gather, and we'll have about 24 hours of impacts before this moves out. So I do expect this band to start to set up a little bit more into the middle to late part of this evening, and then the wintry mix line is going to be a sharp cutoff. And so I do think that line is here in the metro, but you go just north of the city, and that's where we're expecting some of this heavier snow to fall. Once we cool temperatures down early in the morning quickly, we could have a little burst of snow on the back end, all snow at that. It'll be fine and powdery, and then that storm will move out by the time a lot of us are even commuting during the day. So any sort of totals, the confidence much higher farther to the north. Maryville, Bethany up near the Iowa state line, 3 to 6, maybe even more in some isolated spots. You go into the St. Joe area, Atchison, Cameron, you're likely in the 1 to 3 range, and then the rest of us a dusting to an inch, maximum 2 in spots. I also just want to hit on this. One of our models is picking up on a little bit of glaze of ice. It doesn't take much to have impacts, so watch out for that as well early morning tomorrow. With your Aetna First Warn weather camera, shaking winds picking up a little bit, but at least we're still in the 30s, so not too bad. But I do expect, again, plummeting temperatures. You'll see about 32. That's a morning high tomorrow at midnight. Probably by the time you're out the door, teens, and we will stay single digits for highs Saturday and Sunday. We'll take a deeper dive into that Security Bank 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Brad.
All right, thanks, Warren. In Chesterfield, Missouri, unlikely friends are coming together to celebrate one woman's big birthday. Steve Harris brings us the new camaraderie shared among a group with a century between them.
There's a party going on at Del Mar Gardens in Chesterfield. A bit of a belated birthday bash.
Happy birthday to you.
Celebrating a centenarian.
Day.
Tonight, Frida Conley wears the crown, born in 1915. That makes her 108. If you missed that, just check out the candles on the cake.
Blow 'em out.
Frida was born in Arkansas, but lived all over Missouri. She's no stranger to wearing a crown. In 1935, she was Miss Sykeston.
That's the picture you gave Dad to carry when he went to war.
She was married in 1940, had 2 sons, and stayed married for 56 years. Whenever I meet someone like Frida, it always makes me think of the younger generation. With an age gap of a century, who better to ask questions of a 108-year-old than 8-year-olds?
What is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
What is your favorite?
Chocolate candy.
What is your favorite thing that you did when you were young?
He read books all the time.
Oh, yeah, read.
How old are your grandchildren?
From 36 to 48. And she has 12 great-grandchildren.
What did you do to help you live so long?
Oh, just behave myself, I guess.
And she still does, for the most part.
He said you had a good chance to get a boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Leading the family prayer.
Our Father, in thy key, to me, together with all my friends.
And enjoying life's little moments. Oh, and about that boyfriend.
Younger or older? Boyfriend.
Older than I am.
That narrows the field just a little bit.
That was Steve Harris reporting. How cute was she? Love it. All right, meet the newest employee at one Missouri university. Why, it's this dog's job to bring smiles to students' faces. It's still ahead here at 4.
And now here's Carolyn with a look at what we're working on in our next half hour. Hi, Carolyn.
We'll show you more of that video at 5. Chiefs Kingdom is preparing for that brutally cold matchup at Arrowhead. We've been talking about this for days. Find out what fans plan to do to stay warm and what doctors recommend you do as well for that game. And this cold means many of us will crank up the heat in our homes. The word from firefighters about how to stay safe and warm and avoid exposure to a lethal gas. We'll have those stories and more straight ahead when our coverage continues live at 5.
This is KCTV5 News at 4. Keeping you safe from severe weather is the most important thing we do.
It's why we created First Warn 5.
The best way to spot extreme weather.
Days before it threatens Kansas City.
Hours before it impacts our roads.
Anytime on any screen before it hits your neighborhood.
When we issue a First Warn 5 weather day, we put you first.
With a team of experts to look out for you.
First Warn 5 means when we know, you'll know.
Giving you more time to prepare.
This is why we First Warn. Only on KCTV5.
This is what it sounds like.
Mike and Mackenzie in the morning. And Kansas City's greatest hits all day. On 94.9 KCMO.
Since visiting a good food store and wearing art support and being pain-free now, my mood and my energy has drastically improved. What's that energy different to you? Don't say.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. Let's create yours with a built Ford Tough truck. Ford F-150 with impressive backbone capability and available pro-trailer mechanisms. So navigating tight spaces is as easy as turning up. Plus, with available Pro Power on board, you have power on demand. Be future ready with Ford F-150. Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on the new 2023 Ford F-150. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
It's not a good day, it's a great day at Continental Siding. We've got factory rebates and we're sharing. We installed more siding and windows in 2023 than ever before. Our siding resin supplier and our window manufacturers are thanking us for a record-breaking year by giving us huge rebates. We're not keeping these rebates for ourselves. Nope, we're passing them on to you. Our New Year's rebates could mean your New Year's siding and windows. Act fast before these rebates are gone. Click.
Now at Sleep Outfitters, treat yourself to the ultimate comfort and support of a Temper-Adapt mattress with interest-free, budget-friendly monthly payments. Plus, enjoy the pressure relief of a Tempur-Pedic adjustable base for only $14 more a month. Only at Sleep Outfitters.
Mike and Mackenzie in the morning. And Kansas City's greatest hits all day. 94.9 KCMO.
Yesterday at 4, we told you about Alabama coach Nick Saban's retirement. Today, we've learned another coaching legend is leaving his longtime team. Bill Belichick announced he will not be returning as the Patriots head coach next season. 71-year-old led the team to a record 6 Super Bowl titles in 24 seasons. The Patriots had a dismal season last year and finished with a 4-13 record. Today, Belichick spoke about the mutual decision.
Just so many fond memories and thoughts that I think about the Patriots, and I'll always be a Patriot. I look forward to coming back here, but at this time, yeah, we're gonna move on, and I look forward, excited for the future.
Belichick became the third coach in NFL history to reach 300 career regular season wins, joining Hall of Famers Don Shula and George Halas. Belichick's 6 Super Bowl wins, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 31 playoff wins and 17 division championships are all head coaching records. When students return to one Missouri college campus, there will be a new best friend waiting for them. St. Louis University will be one of the first colleges in the country to have a full-time facility dog to help with student mental health. It will come from a St. Louis organization called Duo Dogs, which raises and trains service dogs. A couple of years ago, there were several suicides on SLU's campus, so Duo had nearly a dozen of their touch therapy dogs visit during the student wellness day, and the impact was instant.
It's immediate joy on their face. They're laughing, they're smiling, they come over, they interact. You can almost see their shoulders relax a little bit as they're sitting there with their touch therapy dogs. So it's really exciting to see just some of that stress almost melt away.
Yeah, and after seeing the joy that those dogs brought to campus, the university worked to get a full-time dog, and that dog, he named Woody. Woody will have 4 handlers who will be taking him all around the campus to meet all of his new friends. I'll bet you Woody will be super popular.
I was just going to say that. Yep, for sure. Also in St. Louis, the city is saying not so fast to a film company that wants to fly a drone to combat crime. The film company SMS Novel selected a historic neighborhood to be part of its 2-week test, where the drone is going to record footage, monitor, and live stream activities as a way to deter crime. However, the city sent a cease and desist letter saying that a permit is required in order to fly a commercial drone. Locals in the neighborhood say that they are also against the drone surveillance idea.
If this guy was concerned about curbing crime in St. Louis, then he should have come to talk to us about what we actually need. And what we actually need is investment in our people.
The CEO says that he will not abide by the order, which he says contradicts federal and state filming laws.
All right, Chiefs fans, we can't stress enough just how cold Red Kingdom is going to get on Saturday.
That's right. You're going to need lots and lots of layers. Let's get you over to First Warn 5 meteorologist Warren Sears. He's got a closer look at the game day forecast. Hey, Warren.
Hey, Sharon. Temperatures are going to start falling throughout the morning tomorrow as a little wintry mix or bursts of snow move in. Then we stay frigid through the entire weekend. 7 for a high on Saturday. We think that'll be the temperature right around kickoff. But wind chills likely well below 0 by the end of the game 1, with potentially a wind chill of 20 below that northwest wind, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We will struggle to get out of the single digits for days. I think Sunday mornings wind chills could be as low as 40 below, so downright dangerous. Finally, at least a little small relief next Wednesday, guys.
Everyone's team is going to be chattering. Thanks, Warren. All right, thank you for joining for KCTV5 News at 4.
Live at 5 starts now.
Tonight on Live at 5.
More snow on the way, this time with a threat of ice. Live at 5, your MoDOT's plans in motion and their warning for drivers.
A new First Warn Weather Day has been now added for Saturday. We take a look at good to highest potential to see snow and when those dangerous temperatures roll in your First Warn 5 forecast.
This is Tallulah here, and she is just as susceptible to these frigid temperatures as we are. Live at 5, we're talking about ways that you can actually keep your dog safe outside.
The Chiefs and extreme cold. We talk with fans and health experts on how to stay safe at the game. Live at 5.
KCTV5 News starts now with First Warn 5 weather.
Live at 5, we have a couple of big weather threats on deck. First, the system moves through tonight into tomorrow, bringing a wintry mix.
And then our temperatures nosedive. Take dangerous cold sets in for your weekend and next week. We want to thank you for joining us live at 5. I'm Brad Stevens.
And I'm Carolyn Long. We have declared First Warn weather days now for tomorrow's snow and Saturday's biting cold.
Our team is covering our next round of winter weather along with the bone-chilling temperatures that tens of thousands of fans will feel at Arrowhead on Saturday. We begin with First Warn 5 meteorologist Warren Sears.
Yeah, really expecting those temperatures to turn dangerous once we get through a little bit of a wintry mix chance to out there tomorrow morning. There could be a burst of snow here in the metro as well. I think the highest totals with this next storm system will stay across far northwest Missouri, where the winter storm warning is in place. Still, everybody will feel the effects as you are out the door to start your Friday. And once we drop, we are going to stay extremely cold for many days ahead. It is not just a Friday event. With that next storm system unfolding as we speak, we have a little bit of flurry action, maybe a little mist out there right now here along I-70. That's about it right now. You can see the more heavy snow trying to take shape across central Kansas and also into Nebraska. That eventually will roll into our area again later on this evening and into the overnight. Temperatures right around the freezing mark. That is also the main reason why I expect a mixed bag of precipitation out there. But that wind already starting to pick up, giving us a taste of what those wind chills will feel like. So again, later on this evening, closer to midnight, I expect that chance to be a little higher. And then early morning temperatures, lower 30s, but by the time you're out the door, we're likely into the teens. I'll let you know just how cold those wind chills get this weekend here in just a bit. Brad?
All right, thanks, Warren. Live at 5, MoDOT crews will be back at it tonight, putting down 12,000 tons of salt this week. More snow on the way means more salt and more hours for plow drivers out on the road. KCTV5's Nigel Hill is live at 5 from MoDOT's command center in Lee Summit with their new game plan going into the weekend. Nigel?
Well, Brad, especially this weekend, they're warning drivers about ice and potential for freezing rain. The big problem is salt gets washed away by rain coming through. The other problem, these lower temperatures make their chemicals ineffective. So here's how they're preparing. They plan to ramp up daytime staffing to accommodate conditions. 1,600 plows are freshly graded and ready to go. The agency brought in maintenance staff from other departments and states to help. Their message to drivers, as always, is to proceed with caution, especially on ramps and bridges. This is because ramps are treated last. They'll start by treating major roads and interstates, then work their way to minor roads, especially ones with less traffic. They say this week's storm was already the worst they've seen in several years.
The last event was big, but we were able to get out there and treat it, and it was manageable if you drove slow. I don't feel like people are going to be able to drive very comfortably on the icy conditions. I mean, we need more slide-offs. We had not as many slide-offs this last time with the slushiness. I would see 1 or 2 on a route. This would be one that we see 10, 12, 15 cars on, because people are going to drive too fast.
You can call 188-ASK-MoDOT for more information. You can also access that travel information map online for the latest traveling conditions. And coming up at 6, you'll hear from residents as they reflect on this week and the weather conditions we saw this week and look ahead as to what they're bracing for coming into the weekend. Reporting live, Nigel Hood, KCTV5.
Nigel, thank you. All right, check out this heart-stopping video from the body camera of an Overland Park police officer. Now, before we show it, we want to let you know that the officer was not hurt. That happened this morning, just after 6 o'clock on 69 Highway. Police cars were stopped in the right lane when a driver hit a patch of ice, slid into the back of a patrol car, which narrowly avoided hitting an officer who was outside of their vehicle. The driver in the crash was taken to a hospital with minor injuries.
For you, me, I mean, it's cold. Cold is cold, and you go do your thing. That's how you go play.
Coach Andy Reid is amped up for the big game Saturday. It is going to be ridiculously cold when the Chiefs meet the Miami Dolphins at Arrowhead.
Live at 5, Sports Director Scott Reese joins us now to tell us more. Scott.
Yeah, I'm the one guy here to talk about something other than how cold it's going to be on Saturday. So many emotions as we head toward this game. Excitement, anticipation, anxiety, okay, fear of freezing if you're me. But no matter how much success the Chiefs have had in recent postseason playoff football, always a great unknown. Now, in this case, we know a little something because, well, the Chiefs and Dolphins played each other a couple of months ago in Germany. At that point, they were evenly matched. Chiefs prevailed thanks to that epic lateral swoop and score by Brian Cook. But again, playoffs are different, and in theory, the cream rises to the crop.
At this point in the year, you just know you got a special team. You know, you've gone through the ups and downs of the season. You find yourself sitting in the playoffs, and anything can happen in the dance. We just got to become a team that just grinds these games out. And it's not the same NFL as it was for us a few years ago. And for whatever reason, you know, when it comes down to third, fourth quarter, we just got to be able to grind that out as a team. And I think everybody understands that.
Kelsey also had plenty to say about his decision not to play last week, despite a pretty big milestone within reach. We'll have much more on that at 6:30 on KC Sports tonight. Carol.
Scott, thank you. Now, of course, staying warm on Saturday will be key for the fans. And we have you covered right here. Coming up in 10 minutes, Samantha Boring breaks down what you can bring into Arrowhead with you and avoid getting frostbite.
Just in, Liberty Hospital says it is close to being fully back online. Their computer systems have been down for more than 3 weeks following what they're calling cybersecurity incidents. Tonight, the hospital says most of their digital equipment is back online and digital health records have been restored. A few areas of the hospital are still treating fewer patients, but that no longer includes their emergency room. The investigation into the cybersecurity incident is still ongoing.
We're not even halfway through winter here, and 6 people have now died in Kansas City from carbon monoxide poisoning. And of course, as we've been talking about, it's about to get much colder, which means the furnaces will be really cranking up, going nonstop in the next few days.
Live at 5, our Sharon Chen joins us in studio with the safety reminders when it comes to heating your home. Sharon?
Right, Brad and Carolyn, Kansas City firefighters say that this is a time when they actually see an uptick in the number of carbon monoxide-related calls. Now, carbon monoxide, that's the gas that you can't see or smell, and it can be deadly. Appliances and engines, including portable generators, can create carbon monoxide. Furnaces that burn gas, wood, and propane, that can make it as well. Firefighters recommend that you have a professional check your furnace and that it's properly vented. They also have a warning for those who use a gas stove.
We get a lot of alternative means of heat, and this time of year, folks trying to use their gas stoves for additional heat. And while they're typically vented for cooking, if you fire them up and put them on full blast, typically that ventilation can't handle the amount of CO being put out by a gas stove when you're using it for heat. So we always recommend never use your gas stoves for heat.
All right, so here's some of the symptoms that you should be aware of for carbon monoxide poisoning. Headache, weakness, dizziness, nausea, shortness of breath. You might also have confusion, blurred vision, or feel drowsy. Now, if you suspect carbon monoxide in your home, you need to get to fresh air and call 911 immediately. Brett?
All right, thank you, Sharon. Well, Evergy says it is prepared to handle the higher demand for electricity during the next cold snap. Here's a few of their reminders. You can turn down your thermostat a few degrees, setting it somewhere between 65 and 68. If you use a space heater, follow the safety instructions and do not run it unattended. Turn off any lights or appliances that you're not using. You can also open the curtains when the sun is shining and then close them when it's not.
Live at 5, we're not the only ones at risk with this bitter cold weather coming in. So are our pets. Dogs, of course, have a lot of fur, but they're just as likely to freeze in Arctic temperatures. KCTV5's Ryan Hennessy is live at 5 from the Great Plains SPCA, where the staff is getting those animals ready too. Ryan?
Yeah, Carolyn, so Great Plains SPCA offers these crates for dogs that are normally kept outdoors. They're actually indoor crates. And what they come with is obviously a crate, a leash, bedding, even some treats, which is pretty nice. Also, they give tips and some tricks for obviously dogs to get comfortable, as well as pet owners to get comfortable with these new crates. Now, also, what they told me was that yesterday alone, they gave away 35 of these crates. Unfortunately, today, when we were driving around the neighborhoods, we did see dogs that were actually on tethers, which is just really unfortunate to see with these cold, dangerous temperatures. Really dangerous because those dogs, they're just limited to the length of that chain. If there is a warm spot too far away, they can't actually get there. I talked to the shelter staff this afternoon. They say animals can't rely on their fur coat for warmth. While it's helpful, it's just not enough to protect them.
They're just like us. They can get cold, they can get hypothermia, and they can actually die in Arctic temperatures. And what's concerning is, for the next few days, we've got some very, very, very dangerous temperatures, and there are pets that are currently outside who will be at risk from these temperatures.
Again, these crates are absolutely free. They want people to take advantage of them. All you can do is contact Great Plains SPCA for one of these crates. Now, at 6 o'clock, we're going to be talking about how you can actually keep outdoor cats safe. They also offer an option for that. We'll be that news at 6 o'clock. Reporting from Great Plains SPCA, Ryan Hennessy, KCTV5.
Ryan, thank you. Chiefs fans are getting ready to brave the elements of Old Man Winter on Saturday. See what they're doing to keep warm and what a doctor suggests as well. That's next here at 5.
Another active few days in store. We have a wintry mix to snow and then dangerous cold. We'll talk to your full first 4 to 5 forecast here in just a few minutes.
You're watching Live at 5 on KCTV5 with Brad Stevens,
Carolyn Lawson, and First 15 meteorologist Warren Sears. Closed captioning brought to you by St. Luke's Mid-America Heart Institute, celebrating 1,000 heart transplants.
Nursing home injuries? If your loved one has fallen or suffered severe bed sores because of nursing home neglect, call the law office of Dr. Brad Bradshaw at 753-5555, 753-5555.
Men, the new year is here, and a time to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish, not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't like they used to be, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling the way I just described, it's likely you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating this condition. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. Higher energy, better sleep, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. Call us today.
At Price Chopper, we're always chopping prices so you can feed your family for less. Casey Pride 80% lean ground beef, $2.69 a pound in 10-pound roll, $2.99 a pound family pack. Casey Pride rump roast, $2.99 a pound. Campbell's Chunky Soup, $1.99. Cherry, $3.99 a pound. Save $5 when you buy 5 select craft items. For freshness, selection, and low prices, Kansas City knows. Price Chopper.
Upgrade your home with the best deals on the best appliance brands at NFM. Right now, save up to $1,000 on suggested retail on major appliances. Plus, get up to $3,000 back after mail-in rebate with the purchase of a qualifying Cafe appliance bundle. Let us handle the hard stuff with free delivery and setup. Plus, 24-month financing is available. Compare all the best brands with more than 700 appliances on display. Right now, shop hundreds of deals store-wide at NFM.
Need to sell your house fast? You can trust the team at bestofferkc.com to help. Over the past 20 years, we've helped thousands of families in the KC area sell their troublesome house. Whether facing foreclosure, health issues, an inherited home, or extensive repairs, we can help you. We pay cash, buy as is, but more importantly, our team will take time to listen to your unique situation and talk through all your available options. Call today or go to bestofferkc.com. That's bestofferkc.com.
Nursing home injuries? If your loved one has fallen or suffered severe bed sores because of nursing home neglect, call the law office of Dr. Brad Bradshaw at 753-5555, 753-5555.
Last season on Genesis, we learned a thing or two about living in the dead.
There was mostly emails and Zooms that should have been emails.
But there's one really big thing we're still dying to know.
Oh my God! What? I think one of the ghosts. What? Who?
Why do you think it's weak brands
Got a cliffhanger for.
Ghost returns, part of CBS Premiere Week after Super Bowl 58 on CBS, soon on Paramount Plus.
Live at 5, you're looking live over Arrowhead Stadium right now, which is 2 days away. The Chiefs embarking on a very frigid battle to keep their season alive. With more on what fans can do to prepare for the extreme chill, here's First 15 meteorologist Greg Price.
All right, friends, we've been talking about this, kind of like a polar plunge impacting the Central Plains, the Missouri River Valley, after this big low pressure system brings the snow and the wind force in the next 24 hours. The temperature for the game is going to be something fierce. We're talking single-digit values for air temperatures, but with a northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour, your feel-like temperatures, even for tailgating, going to range anywhere from -5 to -15 degrees. I know you want to get out there, and I know you want to celebrate. So, we've got some tips for you when it comes down to trying to stay warm, but enjoying yourselves over at Arrowhead. First and foremost, layer up. 2 to 3 layers are going to be a wise choice. Beanies, gloves, scarves, all good ideas to stay warm. Heating sources, kind of like those disposable exothermic bags that you can hold on to. That'll help you out, especially for your body as well and your feet. And for your food or for your cold drinks, coolers are key. They regulate the temperature, whether it's warm or cold.
Live at 5, game day at Arrowhead almost here, but it comes, as we've been telling you for several days, it's coming with a frigid forecast.
Yeah, the timing is just not great. The Chiefs are taking on the Dolphins. In the wild card game, that part's good. But KCTV5 Samantha Boring spent the day talking with experts on how to stay warm, what you can bring and cannot bring into the stadium with you on Saturday. Hi, Samantha.
Hey, Carol and Brad, it's cold now, but do not underestimate the impact of this wind ripping through the parking lot. Fans are excited to see how everything will play out on the gridiron come Saturday, but the stands might not be as full with this extreme cold on the way.
Even if you got a free ticket?
We asked the same question. If you got a free ticket, would you go to the game? Negative degrees.
No. I don't think you could pay me enough. I love the Chiefs, but no. Too cold for me.
I'd have to really think about it. An easy decision for most Chiefs fans. Saturday's game will be spent indoors. I'll have the best in the house at home since I'm the television.
I mean, I'm a football fan, but not that big of a football fan to be freezing my tush out there.
The bravest Chiefs fans are ready, no matter the weather. Arrowhead is preparing too. Warming stations will be set up in the parking lot and inside the stadium. Though being in single digits at the game will be unavoidable.
Making sure all your exposed skin is covered. Obviously, we think about your hand smoke, but think about your face and your nose as well.
Fans are finding ways to stay warm while still sporting the red, gold, and white.
Get out of my way!
The thermals, the jerseys, the headwear, hand warmers, gloves, scarves, the whole 9 yards.
The Plaza Rally House is seeing more people stocking up on warm gear for the game. Some even picking a larger jersey to wear over their layer.
So they can still support their jersey, that they paid for, but also be warm all at the same time.
Doctors say to be aware of signs of hypothermia, such as not shivering and confusion, but also frostbite.
If you start feeling like you're getting numb or you're having a hard time moving, it's really important that you kind of remove yourself from that environment.
And if you plan on having a drink or two, Dr. Larson says to do it in moderation for your safety.
Again, if you drink too much, you don't necessarily recognize the signs and symptoms that you may be having a medical condition, a medical emergency.
Doctors say fans can still be loud and proud, but also aware. Health experts also recommend to be aware of other conditions. Cold weather can cause things like asthma to act up, and it can put more stress on your body and put more people at higher risk for a heart attack. They say to take things slow on Saturday. Live from Arrowhead, Samantha Boring, KCTV5 News.
Thanks, Samantha. Because everyone who's going out to Arrowhead should have a coat like Samantha's. Not terrible.
For sure. Even break out the ski gear, whatever you might have at home, and wear it.
The warmest clothes you have. Make sure you wear it. All right, let's get back over to Warren, who's tracking the latest on the snow and that bitter cold moving in.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep away from exposed skin, too, with all of this. And we're talking many days of dangerous cold. This isn't just going to be on Saturday for the Chiefs game. Before we get to that dangerous cold, though, we do have a winter weather advisory in place for the Kansas City Metro and a little bit more of an elevated winter storm warning. That does include those of you just near the Iowa state line in far northwest and north central Missouri. That is where the winter storm warning is where I expect the higher snowfall totals to fall in this viewing area. Now, once you go over the state line to Iowa, they have blizzard warning. So what I want to just say is if you have to travel north at all tomorrow, tonight into tomorrow, don't. It's not going to be good at the farther north that you go. Again, I do expect many inches of snow in that winter storm warning. On top of that, a wind chill watch then goes into effect Friday afternoon through Tuesday. That does include our western communities, but I do still think everybody is going to have dangerously cold wind chills. So let's see that storm that's starting to take shape as we speak. You can see a little bit of light snow or flurry activity in northwest Missouri, but the rest of us, maybe a little mist, maybe a little bit of light rain, or a little bit of flurry action here locally, but nothing substantial right now. The heavier bands are where you see this deeper blue, so developing in north central Kansas and into eastern Nebraska. That eventually does spread in here. If you see behind me on our forecast track, I think the later you go, the better the opportunity to see that heavier band of snow start to set up closer to 9 to midnight, and then a wintry mix for a lot of us here in the metro, and that's because our temperatures are right at the freezing mark. So there will be a really steep cutoff, I think, to the south from snow to a little wintry mix. Now, I also see this little pink band in here. I'm a little concerned about patchy freezing rain. That means a little bit of a glaze of ice here and there. I don't expect a widespread ice storm, not saying that, but we could have some slick spots with a little ice early morning tomorrow and a quick burst of snow here in the metro. And then by 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, this is all out of here. So it's a mainly overnight event. It will likely bring many inches to the northwest. This is our latest forecast snowfall accumulation here. For those of you near the Iowa state line where that winter storm warning is in place, from Bethany to Maryville, 3 to 6 inches of snow not out of the question. The St. Joe area, a little bit lower, and then a steep cutoff to the south there. Northern metro, likely on the probably higher end here of the dusting to 2, but then the rest of us, a dusting to maybe 1 inch. Again, forecast ice accumulations here behind me, nothing substantial, but even a glaze of ice on the ground is very dangerous. So please keep that in mind out the door early morning tomorrow. We could have some reduced traffic, reduced travel. But I do think for now we're quiet and doing all right. Lower 30s for a lot of us as we see when you're heading the first warm weather camera. 32 is your morning high. That is going to be after midnight. And then temperatures plummet throughout the day. That northwest breeze will be about 15 to 25, gusting up to 35. And look what it does. From 32 around midnight to 10 in the afternoon. That's it. Our sub-zero wind chills will lock into place, not just for tomorrow, but for about 4 or 5 days before we finally have at least a small amount of relief. That Chiefs game, your Security Bank 7-day forecast is going to be right around 7 at kickoff. Wind chills the entire day Saturday, well below freezing. I think Sunday morning we could have wind chills as low as 30 to 35 below zero. It's not until Wednesday next week some slightly warmer air works in. So definitely serious weather to talk about here. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your First Warn 5 7-day forecast is brought to you by Security Bank. Get your First Warn 5 weather 7-day forecast and real-time updates anytime, anywhere. Download the KCTV First Warn app today.
Mike and Mackenzie in the morning. And Kansas City's greatest hits all day. 94.9 KCMO.
When it comes to local sports, only one place rewrites the playbook every night. KC Sports Tonight is the only game in town with 30 minutes of non-stop sports, 7 nights a week. We've got more coverage where you want it, behind the scenes and in the trenches. Wherever, whenever your teams play, that means more high school, more college, more local sports, more time to do it right. Every night. KC Sports Tonight, powered by NFM.
Refresh one room or every room in your home with new flooring and incredible savings at NFM. Right now, get free installation on all in-stock carpet. That includes installation, tear up, haul away, and more. Plus, save 11% off the current price on all hard surface flooring. Update your window treatments and enjoy free installation on qualified purchases. And budget-friendly 24-month financing is available on qualified purchases. Our experts are here to help from selection to installation, so you can shop with confidence. Only at NFM.
Peterson and Associates. When you're injured, results matter. Remember the 8s.
After 40 years as leaders in the Kansas City metro area, Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and Roger the Plumber are combining forces. With more than 8,000 5-star reviews, Hamilton is the only call you need to make for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Find peace of mind with the pros at Hamilton. Call 913-888-4262 to schedule your appointment.
As someone living with type 2 diabetes, I want to keep it real and talk about some risks. With type 2 diabetes, you have up to 4 times greater risk of stroke, heart attack, or death. Even at your A1C goal, you're still at risk, which if ignored could bring you here. May put you in one of those, or even worse. Too much? That's the point. Get real about your risks and do something about it. Talk to your healthcare provider about ways to lower your risk of stroke, heart attack, or death. Learn more at getrealaboutdiabetes.com.
Every night, our goal is to help you feel safer and more connected to Kansas City.
Your safety is our number one concern.
Only on KCTV 5 News at 10.
Mike and Mackenzie in the morning. And Kansas City's greatest hits all day. 94.9 KCMO.
First Warn Weather is brought to you by Aetna Medicare Solutions.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, we hear from one survivor of that major avalanche at a popular ski resort, how a stranger saved her life after she was buried under the snow. The remarkable recovery. Those headlines and much more tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
A middle school teacher in Independence accused of sending sexually explicit messages to a student is now clear of those allegations. New at 6, we're hearing from him after his career was nearly ruined. Carolyn?
Sharon, thank you. And thank you for joining us live at 5.
CBS Evening News is next, and we'll see you back here at 7.
Current conditions. Sponsored by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Hurry in and start saving with hundreds of deals store-wide at NFM. Shop over 300 sofas starting at $299 and over 500 area rugs starting at $79. Check out over 200 laundry pairs starting at $9.99. And make sure you explore over 130 TVs starting at $96. Plus, budget-friendly 24-month financing is available on qualifying purchases. Find a great selection of in-stock items ready to take home today. Only at NFM. Enter to win a signed Patrick Mahomes jersey at nfm.com/giveaways.
You wouldn't pour OJ this way, and you don't have to pour paint this way either. Try Dutch Boy Platinum Plus paint in the twist and pour container with a built-in spout. Easy to hold, open, and pour. Only at Menards. Dutch Boy paints make transforming your world easy.
My grandfather nearly died because the people at the nursing home gave him his diabetes meds at the wrong time. How could they be so irresponsible? I called Mike's team to investigate.
When you place a loved one in a nursing home or other care facility, you're trusting that nursing home with their life. If you suspect neglect or abuse, that trust has been broken. Call me right now.
Mike's team held the nursing home accountable for what happened to my grandfather.
If your loved one's been hurt at a nursing home, call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500.
KCTV5 News is sponsored in part by Price Chopper.
Then, it's the new year, and a time to make positive changes in your life. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. If you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today and be resolved and done with ED. You see, ED can affect both you and your partner, causing stress in your relationship. But the good news is that if you're like most guys, you'll get your sex life back, because we have treatments with success rates well over 90%. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. Call us today.
The most important thing is family. AAA shares the same family values. For over 100 years, AAA has been providing legendary service and has helped what it values most, its members. Join our family, and you can save on your auto insurance policy with our competitive pricing. Just like family, we offer you our support when you need it, whether it's questions about your policy or with our most trusted roadside assistance service. Visit AAA.com/insurance and find out how much you could save.
Need to sell your house fast? You can trust the team at bestofferkc.com to help. Over the past 20 years, we've helped thousands of families in the KC area sell their troublesome house. Whether facing foreclosure, health issues, an inherited home, or extensive repairs, we can help you. We pay cash, buy as is, but more importantly, our team will take time to listen to your unique situation and talk through all your available options. Call today or go to bestofferkc.com. That's bestofferkc.com.
For being with us tonight. We are just 4 days away from the Iowa caucuses, and there are a number of major stories that are of top concern to the American people and will impact the race for the White House, starting with the most important issue to voters, the economy. And we learned today inflation was up last month more than expected. The new data out today shows one of the biggest reasons is housing costs. So we're going to look at what that means ahead for your wallet. Plus, the immigration crisis remains at the top of mind for voters as they make their voices heard in the 2024 election cycle. Tonight, we have an in-depth look at the strain in the classroom as tens of thousands of migrants cross the border
and their children enter public schools. And then the other big headline today, former President Donald Trump was not on the campaign trail, but inside a courtroom tonight. His outburst at the prosecutor and the judge and what the outcome of that $370 million civil fraud trial could mean for his real estate empire. So let's begin with the economy. Inflation jumped in unexpectedly today, ticking up slightly to an annual rate of 3.4%. CBS's Jolene Kent will start us off tonight talking to voters who believe that lawmakers aren't doing enough to help the middle class.
Las Vegas mortgage broker Joan Weber says the economy is not working for her or her customers hunting for home loans.
The majority of people that are coming in today have way more credit card debt than they did 4 or 5 years ago. And we tell them, you don't qualify because you have too much debt.
Weber, a Republican, says the stubbornly high cost of living means her company processes fewer mortgage applications.
The last 2 years have been the worst years of our 10 years. I had to cancel my car 2 years ago because it was $1,700 a month. That's almost as much as my mortgage payment.
While inflation is off the highs of 2022, monthly budget items have continued to soar. Rent was up 6.2% last year. Auto insurance skyrocketed 20%, and dining out jumped 5.2%.
If you were to describe the economy right now in one word, how would you describe it?
Painful. It's painful to go to the grocery store. It's painful to go to the gas pump.
But the view from the White House?
Really good, but lots of work to do on behalf of American families.
Lael Brainerd is director of the National Economic Council. She's the president's top advisor on the economy. We brought her this question from Weber.
What are they doing to fix the economy? If it is so great, why does it need fixing?
What's your response to that? Yeah, so we have seen inflation come down by 2/3. There are certain goods where they still remain too expensive for Americans. We still need to do a lot of work to get healthcare to be more affordable. I don't know why, but Republicans have been resisting those efforts to bring costs down.
You're saying that partially why inflation is so persistent, it's the fault of the Republicans?
I'm saying that we're working really hard to bring costs down in the areas that matter most to Americans. And in some cases, we really need Congress to work with us.
Back in Nevada, Weber just wants results.
I want the fighting to stop in Washington, D.C. It's like mom and dad fighting, and all the kids are suffering. Our country is so divided.
And Jolene Kent joins us now. So how does this inflation report that's out today impact what may happen with interest rates ahead?
Exactly. That's a great question. Inflation picked up more than Wall Street was expecting. As you can be sure, the Federal Reserve is watching this so closely, trying to figure out when to time that first cut, which could come this spring. Now, 2 members of the Federal Reserve have publicly expressed hesitation about cutting rates too soon, but the Fed is also very mindful about not cutting rates too close to the general election to avoid seeming partisan.
Everyone wants to know when those rates are going to get cut. Jolene Kent, thank you so much. All right, former President Donald Trump took time off the campaign trail today for closing arguments in his civil fraud trial in New York City, where he is accused of falsifying financial documents for a decade. CBS's Robert Costa is outside the courthouse.
With his businesses in New York at risk, and after a long day in court, former President Donald Trump arrived at one of his New York properties to speak to reporters.
We have the best poll numbers, we have the best everything despite this, and maybe because of this.
With just days before the Iowa caucuses, Trump says his legal challenges here in New York and elsewhere are now part of the campaign trail. Are you planning to show up in court?
Yeah, I want to go to all of my trials.
Thursday saw the closing arguments over the extent of fraud in the New York civil case. Judge Arthur Engoron, who has already concluded Trump and his 2 sons have defrauded banks and companies by inflating assets, is now weighing the scope of penalties. An explosive scene unfolded in the courtroom as Trump spoke up and veered outside the bounds of what the judge said he could say, lashing out and making false accusations against the judge and the New York Attorney General. This is a fraud on me. What's happened here, sir, is a fraud on me, Trump claimed. You can't listen for more than 1 minute. This has been a persecution, he directed at Engoron, prompting the judge to cut him off and tell Trump's attorneys to control your client. And while New York State attorneys finished their closing arguments, Trump was already gone, pumping his fists as supporters cheered him at his 40 Wall Street building. New York State Attorney General Letitia James.
This case is about the facts and the law. And Mr. Donald Trump violated the law.
Trump told me he does plan to attend all of his upcoming trials, civil and criminal, state and federal. That's a remark that could have a real impact on the campaign calendar and take Trump away from those key battleground states as he spends time in the courtroom. Nora?
Yeah, there's a number of trials coming up on different fronts. Yeah, Robert Costa, thank you so much. Well, the economy is one of the main topics of conversation ahead of the Iowa caucuses, now just 4 days away, but it's not the only one. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is in Ames, Iowa, where he heard what's top of mind in the Hawkeye State.
The borders need to be closed. Here in Iowa, a top issue of concern for Republican voters is the future of immigration and border security.
Yeah, the border is a big issue.
Open borders, not a good thing.
Candidates speak about it frequently.
The border is a disaster, the worst border in history.
And offer solutions.
Instead of catch and release, we're going to go to catch and deport.
But some use terms that vilify undocumented immigrants.
We have a program to transport illegal aliens to sanctuary jurisdictions.
Nationwide, Americans are increasingly concerned about the situation at the U.S.-Mexico border. Nearly half say it's a crisis. The issue is a long-standing concern for Republicans, but there's increased worry among Democrats and independents. The reality here is that Iowa's 3 million residents are overwhelmingly white, and the state's strong economy needs immigrant labor.
Iowans, especially here, would have a very difficult time having anything to eat at dinner time without immigrants, because immigrants are the ones who process the meat, who farm the fields, who cook the food.
Brenda Rodriguez, who fled an abusive relationship in Mexico, has lived in the state for nearly 30 years.
We did so many years being under the shadows, and I'm done.
So when you hear these candidates who are running say that people who come illegally have to go home, what do you think of that?
I deserve a chance to stay. If I'm paying my taxes and I'm not doing anything, I don't think I'm a bad person that the people from Iowa don't want me here.
Could Iowa run without immigrants like you?
I don't think so.
With just 4 days remaining until the caucuses, the remaining Republican candidates like Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis will be holding big campaign events like this one, trying to find those last-minute undecided voters. Former President Donald Trump is set to be back here holding rallies by the weekend. Nora?
Ed O'Keefe on the campaign trail there in Ames. Thank you so much. I want to turn now to some breaking news. The U.S. and the United Kingdom are beginning to strike Houthi targets in Yemen. The Iranian-backed militia has launched a constant barrage of drone and missile attacks at ships in the Red Sea, delaying shipping globally. Well, CBS's Nancy Cordes has the very latest now from the White House. Good evening, Nancy. What do we know?
Good evening, Nora. Moments ago, CBS News confirmed that these joint airstrikes by the UK and the US on military positions in Yemen are now underway. This marks the first time the U.S. has fired on Yemen since the Israel-Hamas war.
It's in my background.
I'm not gonna drop the selfie, stupid bastards. The doctor, as long as I go to a fucking doctor's appointment, you fucking moron.
Did you know over 8 million tons of the fresh produce that's grown ends up in here?
Setup tour! It's finally time for my new setup tour, the long-awaited. But first, I gotta check in what other people got going on. Other YouTubers. Last time I reacted to Pokemates, and I can see now. There's been an update. I was being harsh because our cable management was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh God, the cable management. Oh God.
Don't stop. I know. Stop judging me.
But I'm happy to see that someone has helped her take care of it.
That's where they all are. Oh.
Nice. That's so much better.
Is everything wireless in here?
Wireless,
or...
right?
Wait, this is insane.
She gets it. Of this amazing, super expensive setup. But no cables. This is amazing! Where do they put the lights? Oh, they put it on top. That's so much better. That looks great. Yeah, the same microphone. Everybody still had the Go XLR. I refuse to have it. So she has all this stuff on the wall. I don't really get it. It looks kinda... I don't think they do that much anyway. If you have a good microphone, like I sound fine, right? I don't think you need to put this stuff on the wall. I don't know. They're just such a pain to remove. I put them on once and I'm like, this is not worth it.
Over here, some mistakes were made.
Yeah, so she tried to remove them too. Yeah, they're just such a pain to remove. It's not worth it. That's easy to fix though. Anyway, that's great to see. Also, I also reacted to Minimeter. Minimeter? I know him, obviously. I just don't know how to say your name. MM7 Simon. Bruh, I'm sorry.
Okay, PewDiePie has mentioned me in one of his latest videos. It's not good. He uploaded my $6 billion setup tour.
This is MM7.
What did it? What? No! Bro, I played Among Us with him.
How could I forget? I kind of roasted his setup a little bit. Because it's like, you don't need that many monitors. It has like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I think there was a 5th one. I don't know. But apparently he made an update, like, he had made one right before my video went up.
As I said, one on the left for games, and I don't use it anymore. I only have 3 monitors now. I mean, I do have a big ass TV and another display down. I mean, now it looks good. Like, that's
Yeah.
3 setups.
That looks a lot
no
cleaner.
wires, more than...
That's so much cleaner, yeah. Much, much better. Obviously not acceptable to my standards of cables. But still, pretty damn good. Because then you have 2 computers too, like I do.
Bro, compared to that, bro, I would hate this.
Alright.
I say he threatened my life knife. That's why the fuck I did that. I wouldn't have done that just to do that.
I knew she was already going to be large just by how Mike Klum reacted from when It's a Gundam was licking Dylan Mulvaney's armpit.
Everyone else fucking slammer, you crazy bitch.
Congress faces the first impeachment.
Warranty escalates. It's deja vu all over again in the House.
The resolution is not adopted.
On Wednesday, 13 House Republicans will rank to reject the spending deal House